You're looking at a model stationary steam engine. This is the Stuart No. 7A vertical live steam engine. It stands 7.5 inches tall, has a 1-inch cylinder bore, 1-inch piston stroke, and a 3.5-inch diameter flywheel. I built this engine a few years ago from an unmachined castings kit. What is a castings kit? Well, for those that are unfamiliar with the term, an unmachined castings kit comes to you with all the parts and materials needed to build a model steam engine in rough form, just as they came from the foundry. The builder takes the rough castings and machines them down to the finished parts following the plans provided with the kit. To give you an idea of the type of work involved in building this type of kit, here are a few examples of the parts before and after they were machined. Here's the engine's base as a rough casting just as it came out of the box. The material here is cast iron. Now here's the same part completed with paint and 4-threaded studs that will be used to attach the engine's standard to the base. Let's take a look at another example. Here are the rough castings for the engine's main bearings. There are 2 main bearings in this engine, each has a top and bottom half. Now here are the bearings after they were machined. All of the parts in this kit are cast from either red brass or cast iron, except for the crankshaft. In this kit, the crankshaft is given as a steel forging, and here it is before any of the machine work was done. Now here's a shot about halfway through the machining process. And here's a close-up of the finished crank resting in place on the lower halves of the main bearings. Let's look at one more part. This is the casting for the engine's connecting rod. In this kit, the connecting rod is given as a red brass casting. Now here's the connecting rod after all the machine work was done. Let's take a look at that again. Here it is before and after. The connecting rod in this model is only about 4 inches long, and the shape is very complex, but each individual cut that went into producing this part is very simple. In the connecting rod segment of this video, I'll show you how I prepared the casting and planned out all the cuts so that I didn't lose the ability to hold the part rigidly on the machine as the work progressed. That's probably the most important part of machining parts from castings, especially small parts like this connecting rod. I've been involved with a number of model building projects over the years, but this was the first project I photographed as the work progressed. And that included shots of everything from planning the work to laying out the parts, setting up each part to be machined, all the special tooling I used, including an alignment tool I designed for this engine, inspecting and fitting the parts, assembling the engine, running it in, all the way down to finishing the castings and doing the paint work. In total, I think I shot about 25 hours of videotape on this project, and I can honestly tell you I spent more time setting up lights and cameras than I did actually building the model itself. But that's just the way it worked out. It was a lot of work, but in the end, I think it was all worth it, because now I have a detailed record of how this type of model live steam engine kit takes shape from start to finish. If you're interested in live steam models and would like to see how each individual part in this engine was made, bookmark my YouTube channel now and check back soon to see the next installment in this video program. I'll post new videos each week, and each week I'll cover a different stage in the building process. You know, the No. 7A has been available from Stuart Models in England for many years. I think it's a great size and a great kit to illustrate the basic techniques used to build a model from a castings kit.